Welcome back to the Desk Talk Podcast. This is the fast-paced Friday episode. Your hosts, Trent Werner and Alex Smagala. Let's do it!
All right, happy New Year's. We are back in 2021 with the Desk Talk Podcast. I got Alex with me, and we're talking about the goals that we have set for ourselves for the new year.
Yeah, big goals, major goals.
I don't want to get too in-depth with it, but let's just talk 2 business goals today. Maybe give some motivation to some listeners if they haven't set their goals yet.
True. And if you haven't, get on it.
Definitely.
Anyways, my 2 biggest goals I have for myself this year in my mortgage business are I want to close 48 loans, which if you break that down, that's going to be 4 a month. And I want to stay on a strict content schedule for this entire year. I don't want to fall through the cracks and not keep up with it. So those are my 2 major goals this year.
Okay, and mine are I want to close at least 18 deals this year and double my rental units. Doubling my rental units has been a goal that I've strived for every year since I bought my first duplex, and it's a goal that I'm going to continue to have. So I'm kind of stealing it from last year, but I do have that goal of doubling the number of doors that I own every year.
I think that's a good goal to have to kind of keep yourself always motivated to look for that next deal instead of falling complacent where if you forget to put it on your business goals one year, you're not really thinking about that. Like these goals are basically things where you're writing it down and you're not thinking of it every single day, but it's just in the back of your mind since you wrote it down. Like you don't forget it. And I think that's the biggest thing that we can kind of push in this episode is just write them down.
And honestly, me personally, I like to set goals that are a little bit out of reach or harder to reach. Like they're not impossible. They're just harder to get to. Doubling your rental units year over year is pretty challenging if you think about it. I'm at 6 right now, so that means I have to get 6 more next year.
And which it took you 2 years to get to 6. So it's like you're cutting the timeline it took you to get those units in half. Mm-hmm. And on top of it, if you look at it going into 2022, trying to double it again, it's like every year it's a lofty goal, but it's doable if you can get creative and find ways.
And so if looking forward, when I first started this goal, I was kind of planning 5 years out. And I was thinking, okay, if you do 2 and then 4, then you get, if you get to, I didn't double my units this year, right? Well, I did. I got to 6. So, yeah, but then I tripled my units.
Yep.
So then I just set myself up for a harder
technically you could look ahead. I mean, that's going to be a goal where over time you're going to have to cut down that multiplier.
Yeah.
Where you're not going up by 2 times every time. Maybe it's
1.5 or
1. So even just half.
So next year when I get 6 more and I'm at 12, then 12 the following year, that's going to be
half of it. If you got 6 last year, then half of that again. And then you're going to have to start looking at halves. Once you get up there in units, you're going to have to cut it in half.
Not if I want to get to 1,000.
I mean, that's true.
But where I was going with this before I realized that I set myself up on a harder path was if you set a goal that's kind of hard to get to and you still make progress on it, even if I don't double my units next year, let's say I get 4 more units. That's still 4 more units. It's
better than 0.
Yeah, it's better than a kick in the pants. Yeah. So that's why I'm a proponent on setting harder goals to achieve, not impossible goals. I'm not going to say I want 1,000 units next year because that's just dumb. But
yeah, I mean, it's also you can look at it where if you yourself set really hard, lofty goals where you can achieve it, it just might not happen in that year. It's not bad to just roll it over into the next year, or it might be a 2-year goal where okay, did I get there halfway there this year? And no, I didn't. Maybe I got to rethink things. It's just goals can kind of just fall back into the next year if you didn't quite get there, but don't miss it by so much that then
don't do anything.
Yeah, and now you're not doing anything. It's set it high, but high enough to where it's just out of reach and it makes you want to go after it again next year. I think that is smart with goals.
Yeah. And any goals that you set, as long as you're making progress on those goals, that's the real journey. That's the fun. That's when you're working and growing and striving for those loftier goals that you've set for yourself. Maybe, you set a 5-year goal and you want to get 1/5 of it done this year. Set that goal, work towards it, progress. If you get it, great. If you don't, you're still making progress towards your 5-year goal. So That's my biggest takeaway from goal setting. I love it. It gives you something to strive to. It motivates you. You have something to work for every day. And when you get there, you can celebrate a little bit.
Yeah, celebration is the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
We literally talked about it in one of our
Reward
episodes.
yourself.
Yeah, mini rewards. That's how you get yourself through tough times.
So
All right, that's it. Thank you for this episode. Unless, did you have something else?
I was going to say, go attack 2021 like your head's on fire, baby. Go get it. Let's go get it this year, huh? Take us out. I'm done. Take us out. I'm done.
All right. Well, that's your Fast Paced Friday, the first one for 2021. Catch us with more.
And that was the end of today's Fast Paced Friday episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Desk Talk Podcast. All of our socials will be in the description below. Have a great weekend. Adios.